to the webinar. My name is Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy. I'm very excited to be with you tonight. We're going to have some fun. Okay, tonight I'm going to show you how to set up Teamzy the right way so that you are ready to just get in there and crush it. Tegan from New Zealand. Hello, New Zealand. We were just talking about that in New Zealand with my kids. They were asking me where it was. I said, basically the other side of the planet. So really excited to have you here tonight. Okay, so tonight we're going to show you how to set up Teamzy. I'm going to take you through the process of a power hour. I'll show you the best workflow so you can be super efficient with Teamzy. You should be able to easily connect with 20 people in 30 minutes every day. Okay, I'll show you the whole process. I'll take you through how to do it, how to set it up, how to create those conversations, how to invite people in Teamzy, how to follow up on those invites like a pro, all the way through the process till they join your team. Sound good? At the end, we'll do Q&A. So if you have questions, there's a Q&A button right down there on the bottom. You can load questions in at any moment during the call, and I'll be happy to do questions. If you guys are watching us live on Facebook and you have questions, I see Lisa's on there. Hi, Lisa. I'll toggle back and forth and try to get those too. For those of you in the Zoom room, you can put them right in the Q&A book. Okay, let's do this, okay? Let's see, first things first. I've got a couple slides to go through with you. Here's the topic for tonight. Get organized and become a power hour boss with Teamzy, okay? Just a little bit of backstory for those of you who haven't met me before. As I said, my name's Eric Johnson, creator and founder of Teamzy. My background's in business coaching and consulting. I've been in that industry for 15 years, helping people build their business based on a relationship marketing approach to business. I wasn't involved in network marketing at all. I fell into it by accident. See, I found some products that really helped me personally. And I just, as a happy customer, was naturally sharing them with others. And I finally figured out that there was a great business opportunity there. So as I looked at the business for myself, I looked at it from the perspective of somebody who coaches other people on how to build a business. And I thought, okay, I've got an hour a day and that's it. I'm busy, right? How many of you guys can relate to that? And so I was looking for some tools that would help me leverage that little bit of time I had so that I could do all the things I knew I needed to get done to be successful. And so I started kind of going out and looking for things that would help me. You know, there's professional tools in a lot of industries to help people build their businesses. What I found was that I just couldn't find anything, but this is what I was looking for. In my 1 hour a day, I wanted a way to stay in touch with all of my contacts, okay? Because I knew that was the key to building my business by relationship. I also wanted to know when to contact them and when not to contact them. In other words, I don't have time to sit and think and plan. I just need to be able to, if I have 1 hour, I need to turn something on and get going, right? Also, I wanted to know what to say to them. I was trying to create conversations and build relationships. My problem was I would stare at that screen all day trying to think of the perfect message. And then I'd end up talking to one person in my hour instead of 20. Make sense? Also, I needed a system that would allow me to follow up seamlessly so that nobody ever falls through the cracks. This is the biggest challenge in any industry. The vast majority of good leads fall through the cracks, right? They fall through the cracks. So I was looking for something that would let me do all of this and in a relationship-based way, not in the traditional sales approach, which is kind of like that find them, fleece them, forget them approach. That's not me. I needed a way to do all of this relationally. And one more thing, it had to be easy for me to use. I'm really not, my team keeps telling me, don't say this anymore, Eric, but they say, don't say that you're not tech savvy. And I am tech savvy, okay, but here's what I have to tell you. I have no patience for complicated systems. Is that a better way to say it? It has to be easy for me to use or I just won't use it. I want it to be simple. I don't have time to figure stuff out. So funny, I just bought this. This is an example, little side note. I just bought this new gimbal for my phone. It's like the top of the line, you know, stabilizes your phone to do videos. I've pulled it out of the box and played with it 5 times. I have not used it because I can't figure out how to use it without reading the book on it. So I'll have to do that when I get time. Make stuff easy, right? So I couldn't find anything that answered all these. So long story short, guys, we built it. I found some smart guys. We started writing on a napkin. Next thing you know, we've got Teamzy. That's kind of how it came to be because I knew we needed something to help us leverage that time. All right, so just a little bit background on Teamzy. In just a little more than 2 years, we've had more than 70,000 network marketers use Teamzy. That's amazing. I'm so humbled by that. Also, our active users are averaging 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. Okay, 21 new customers, 9 recruits over 90 days. Those are our active users. When I say active user, just so you know, they're doing what I'm going to demonstrate for you tonight. I'm demonstrating the actual average number of these people. All right, so let's jump out of here and look at Teamzy real quick. I've got it here. Somewhere. Share screen, there it is. Share screen. All right, so you're looking at my Teamzy dashboard right now. Here's my Teamzy dashboard. Now, we have officially, as of today, 69 versions of Teamzy customized for specific networks. Okay, we've also got what's called Teamzy Standard. That's kind of our non-network generic version. That's what I'm demonstrating tonight is Teamzy Standard. Okay, so just so you guys know, it may look slightly different than the version you're using if you have one of those custom network versions. Okay, if you're coming into Teamzy for the first time looking for a free trial and you don't see your company listed on that dropdown, you choose this one, Teamzy Standard. Okay, so let me just mention that we give a 30-day free trial. If you're not already using Teamzy, I highly recommend you go to teamzy.com and get a free trial started. It's 30 days free with we don't ask for a credit card or anything like that. Okay, we just want you to use it and fall in love. Okay, all right. So once you come into your free trial and log in, it'll bring you into the setup wizard. The setup wizard helps you set Teamzy up. You can dismiss it, which I've done here, but you can always get that setup wizard back from settings. So let's just launch that. We'll go through it real quick. Okay, I'm going to page through some of these because you have me live. Okay, first thing we're going to do in the setup wizard, we're going to set an income goal. Okay, Teamzy's going to take your income goal. It's going to backward engineer that, tell you what to do daily to hit it. How cool is that? You're always going to know what to do. You never have to wonder. You'll know exactly what to do every day. Number 2, we're going to help you create a powerful why. I'll talk about why that's so important. And number 3, we'll get all your contacts into Teamzy so that you can be super mega organized. Okay? It is impossible to become wildly successful if you're running around with your hair on fire all the time feeling disorganized. We'll get it all in one place. No more pads of paper, spreadsheets, sticky notes, whatever you're trying to make happen now. We'll get it all in one place. It lives in the cloud. You can get it from your phone. Wherever you are, you have your list organized. Okay? So step 1, put an income goal in. You're going to find an empty box, put in a number. This is your 12-month income goal. In other words, this is your annual goal, how much you want to make annually, okay? And you want to get to this level within 12 months. Make sense? So I put $150,000 as my goal, as my example. Whatever your number is, plug it in, and then click continue. Now what Teamzy's doing is it's going to calculate now and tell me how many people I need to connect with over 12 months to get there. And in my case, it's suggesting 4,348 people. 4,348 people over the next 12 months. Now, you guys have probably heard this before, but when you got to eat an elephant, how do you do it? One bite at a time, right? The next page will actually, I'm going to continue over to it. The next page actually takes me to my breakdown page. This breaks it down between prospects, customers, and distributors. Okay. Then it breaks it down monthly, weekly, and daily to an amount I can handle, actually in less than 30 minutes. So that number breaks down to connect with 9 prospects, connect with 6 customers, connect with 4 distributors each day. You see those numbers right here in this little lavender box? 9 prospects, 6 customers, 4 distributors. That's 19 people. I'll show you how easy this is in a minute as I demonstrate this. But I want you guys to understand, when I say connect with, I don't mean trying to sell people, trying to recruit people, doing all the stuff that makes you feel like an icky salesperson. I just mean reach out, connect, make somebody's day. Okay? We call it the make someone's day mindset. I just want you to make someone's day, bring a smile to their face, brighten their day for 2 seconds. That's it. That's the goal, to connect, just to make somebody's day. Okay? And if you do it right, you'll start some conversations, which gives you a chance to talk to people and uncover interest in a way that's more natural and organic without damaging relationships. Okay, so we're going to connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, 4 distributors. This is a suggestion. You can write over these. Let's say you're new and you've got no distributors. You can just make that a 0 and add the 4 over here. Okay? You can edit these. Again, they're just suggested based on your income goal. Make sense? Now you've got, so those are your connects goals each day. Now the next goal here is invites, okay? Now let me just clarify what an invite is. An invite is when you present the business opportunity to somebody. It's when you've talked to somebody and they're interested in some products and you have recommended some products for them to purchase. It's when you give somebody a sample and you're following up on it. An invite is something that you can actually invite somebody to make a purchase or join your team. Okay? So our goal here is that we're creating conversations. From those conversations, we'll have opportunities to invite. 3 out of 19 is the goal this is setting, right? Which means that 16 conversations aren't going to lead there. It's an important thing because a lot of times people will go, oh, well, would you like to have coffee and learn more? And they say, yeah, and they log it like, oh, I invited them to coffee. That's not an invite. You invited them to coffee, great. But to log an invite in Teamzy is when you've had coffee with them and you've showed them the business opportunity. Now you've invited them to your business. Make sense? Okay. Ads are just new people that you're putting in Teamzy, people you're meeting, people maybe you already know that aren't in there. You're adding them in every day. Your goal is to add a few people to keep the list fresh and growing. Okay. When you have these numbers the way you want, click continue. Okay, click continue, and you go to the next page. All right. Let me just check real quick on Facebook, make sure that everybody's cool. Okay, great. Next step is finding your why. Finding your why, I'll go through this really quick, but this is so important. You just need to understand something. 1 out of 2 people quit this business their first year. Okay, 1 out of 2 people will quit the business in their first year. That is too many people. It's an awesome business. And it seems like everybody needs an extra stream of income these days. What an amazing way to do it. Building a home-based business that requires, sorry, I'm a little out of focus, requires almost no investment, right? It's pretty cool. Just some energy. So why are people quitting? The truth is that people quit not just this business, people quit everything. We're just kind of wired to quit unless we have a reason not to. This is why you've heard so many people tell you to get your why. You need to know your why, you need to know your why. And you're like, yeah, I know, but how do you do this? It's like some sort of weird esoteric process, finding your why. But I'm here to tell you that it's really not that complicated. The truth is that you already know your why, okay? You know it right in your heart. The problem is it doesn't do any good in your heart. You have to get it up to your head, okay? So what we did was we've been through all of the trainings and the books and everything on finding your why. We've simplified this process down to just a simple exercise. There's 5 questions that we ask you to think about, okay? And the process of thinking about these 5 questions will draw that why out of you. It's pretty simple, okay? And we built it into the Teamzy Setup Wizard because we're not after your money. We want your testimony. And we know that you cannot be successful without this. Does this make sense? Now, we are blessed that we also get paid for helping people, just like you do in your business, right? But what we want to see is you to be successful. That's why we're going to take you through this real quick. I'll take you through the process real quick. I'll tell my story as an example and just kind of imagine your own story and then make sure you come back and do this yourself. So here we go. First question, why did you become a distributor? Now in my case, some of you know my story. At one time I was a Beachbody coach. And the reason why I joined that business was because their products helped me lose 60 pounds. I mean, it was life-changing. It was completely life-changing for me to become fit and active and healthy after years of neglect. And what happened was people were asking me, Eric, what are you doing? And I would tell them, oh, I did this thing over here. Eric, what are you doing? All day long. I mean, it was often, several times a day. And my wife said, honey, go be a distributor for them. You're telling everybody to go to them anyways. You could be getting paid. I said, that makes sense. So I signed up. Okay. I didn't have any big goals. I didn't know anything about network marketing at all. Okay. I just did it. Next question. What do you hope to accomplish? In my case, I wanted to make $500 a month extra money. Anybody relate to that? Yeah, just $500 a month. That's it. I just wanted to make some extra money. Next question. Why is that important to you? Okay, so what I wanted to do with that $500 a month is I wanted to save it. I just wanted to put it in the bank. Now, some of you know my story I told you that I worked as a business coach. I worked for one of the larger business coaching organizations in the real estate industry. And it was awesome until it wasn't. At the end of 2008, do you guys remember the Great Recession? Yeah, it basically gutted that industry. And I found myself and everybody I knew out of work. Some of you went through that too. It was a pretty scary time. And it was a challenge for our family. Now we made it through. By God's good grace, we made it through that recession intact. But we used our savings up and we started living paycheck to paycheck. And I know probably there's people on this call who can relate to that. But living paycheck to paycheck is pretty scary, especially when you are the sole provider for the family, which in my case I was. And so I dreamt of just putting some money in the bank. I thought, wow, this business could give me a little extra money. I could put it in the bank. I would just feel great about that, right? So that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to save $500 a month. Next question. What would achieving this mean for you and your family? What would achieving this mean for you and your family? Now, what I wanted to do with that money was I wanted to buy a new home for my family. I dreamt of a new home. My wife and I have been blessed. We have an amazing family. We have 4 kids. But we were just completely crowded in our original house. It was way too small for us. Everybody was sharing rooms, including us. People are like, oh, have you seen my nursery? In my house, it was, have you seen the master bedroom or the nursery, depending on how you want to label it, right? We shared a room too. I dreamt of a bigger house for our family. The problem was we had no money and we were upside down on our mortgage because of the recession. And I just thought, well, step one is just putting some money away. So that's what I was thinking about. If I could get that $500 a month in the bank, maybe down the road, I could buy a new home for my family. Next question. Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? Now, this is the type of question that I hate, right? And I love. I love and I hate it. Because I don't like it because it makes me uncomfortable. And I appreciate it because it makes me uncomfortable, right? Because that's where we get to something. Now, I stared at this question for a while. How does it make me feel? Here's what I realized. Okay, as I really dug into this, see, the process of going through these questions will make you face the true why. Your true why is being suppressed right now. You are suppressing it because you're in survival mode, right? And if you're in survival mode, you can't think about your why. You have to think about feeding people today, right? But this process will bring it out. Here's what I realized. It wasn't about buying a new home, though that was an important goal for me, and I really dreamt of buying a new home. The home was more a symbol of my family, right? We were crowded. It wasn't the way I wanted it, but it was my family life that I wanted to improve, not necessarily just the location. See, my kids were growing up and I was completely missing it. I would get up in the morning to go to work and I would say goodbye to my kids, kiss them goodbye while they were still in their pajamas, just waking up. I'd go to work, come home. My kids were in pajamas again, getting ready for bed. And I realized that was going to be my life with their childhood. It was going to be good morning and good evening with an occasional weekend day where I wasn't traveling, where I could be with them. Now, I know that this is the way it was done for generations because, I was doing my duty providing for my family. But that's not what I wanted. I wanted to be present. I wanted to be part of their life. And I'll never forget, I came home one day and I was talking to my son, Cruz, who was 5 at the time, and he was in kindergarten. And every time he talked to me, he called me Mr. Lisa, which was the name of his kindergarten teacher. He never called me daddy until like the 3rd try. Now, I do that to my kids, but that's what parents do. We can't get their name straight. Kids can usually remember daddy, right? I realized, man, no wonder he doesn't think my name. I'm not around that much. That's not what I wanted. Meanwhile, I was at the top of my career, but I couldn't grow any farther. There was nowhere for me to grow. Here I was, well-respected. I had the fancy office and stuff and the big title. And yet I hadn't saved money in 6 years. I realized something, you guys. I realized that I wanted something completely different for my life and my family that I had not taken a second to think about. I also realized that my career, which I was so proud of, I was completely stuck. I was at a ceiling that I wasn't going to break through. In fact, at this point is when I wrote my first why statement, which I'm going to share with you right now, word for word, exactly what I wrote, because it was life-changing for me. But I want you to know, going through this process, something else happened too, is I realized that what I was looking at as my side hustle, my extra money, actually was a better opportunity than my career. And so I stopped thinking about it as my side hustle or my side business. I started thinking of it as my business. And I started looking at my career, which at the time was well beyond six-figure salary. And I thought, that's my extra money. These guys are going to pay me a six-figure salary while I figure out my business. Some of you need to make that mental switch too, to look at your job as your extra money. Make sense? All right, let's finish this off. I'm going to share with you my why statement. So this is the why I wrote just 3 years ago, if you can imagine that. My why: to create a life where I never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family, and I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy and full of energy. Okay? So go through this process and then create a why statement at the end when you've realized, when you've gone through this and realized what it is that's important. Now, I want you guys to understand something. Writing that why down changed everything for me, because suddenly, sorry, I'm trying to get this lighting just right so I stay in focus. Suddenly, I understood what was on the line. Because there's plenty of times when you don't feel like doing it, right? You just like, even once you get into Teamzy and it's so easy and it takes you 30, 40 minutes to do your whole day's worth of income producing activities, even then there's going to be days where you feel like blowing it off, right? The why convicts you. In my case, it was like, man, I have to choose. Do I want to go 30 minutes in Teamzy and get it done and move towards my why? Or do I want to stay stuck in my current reality? It convicts you. Within 3 months of writing this down, I left my full-time career, to the chagrin of my wife. She was not 100% on board with that decision, though she supported it because she knew I could always get another job. I left my full-time career and I came home to build my business. Now, some of you guys know the story. I had nowhere to work in my house. There wasn't a single space. How many of you guys have young kids and you tend to take a little longer in the restroom because it's the only quiet place you can get to for like 5 minutes, right? That was my life. There was no place to work. I started out trying to work in the public library a few hours a day because it was quiet and I could get away for a second. And then what I ended up doing, some of you guys know the story. I just had a little bit of money in the bank, not a lot. I bought myself a new computer and I went to Home Depot and I bought a shed. You know, like the kind you put your lawnmower in? And I put that shed in my backyard, right on the dirt, right on the dirt. We were in the midst of a major drought in California, so I didn't have any grass. I just had dirt. I put this thing right on the dirt. I drilled a hole in the wall, ran an extension cord in, and I started working out of this shed. My kids called it the shoffice, in the backyard. Check this out. I found a picture of it recently. I'll share it with you guys. Here I am with one of my business partners, Mike Lopez, in the shoffice. Right? That's where it started, man. Just make it happen. The why convicted me. And he was coming over to check it out. You can see we were whiteboarding a concept at the time for something called Teamzy. It's amazing, isn't it? The shoffice. The shed quarters. So one thing I regret is that when we sold that house is that I didn't take that with me, because it would be kind of neat to have someday in the lobby of a building or something to remember that. But this why convicts you. That's why I spent a few minutes explaining it. I want you guys to do that. Don't skip it. For the leaders, when you're bringing new people onto your team, if they won't take a few minutes to do this process, they're not going to stick. Okay? They're not going to stick. So you got to really encourage them to do that. Okay. Where are we? Back to Teamzy. Let's finish setting this thing up. Whatever you write in this My Why box, the last box here, that publishes to your dashboard. Okay, so these boxes are just for you to think. The last box, My Why, matters because that publishes it to your dashboard. Why is that so cool? Because, I'm going to skip this for a second. Because it's on your dashboard. I want you to actually come in here every day and read it out loud to yourself. You can really reprogram your brain quickly if you do that. Okay. Another little pro tip you might do with your why is write it down on a sticky note or something and put it on the mirror in your bathroom so that you're looking at it every day when you brush your teeth, at least twice a day. It's really huge. Okay. All right, the last step here, which I skipped out of, the last step though is getting your contacts into Teamzy. Okay, getting your contacts into Teamzy. Now, if you're taking notes, this is the correct order to put your contacts in. First your distributors, then your customers, then your Facebook friends. Okay? First your distributors, then your customers, then your Facebook friends. Why in that order? Because chances are a lot of your distributors and customers are also your Facebook friends, and you want to make sure they go into the right category. Okay, so the way you import people is you go right here where it says add contact. See this big add contact button? You add contact. Now if you're gonna do you can do one person at a time, or if you are gonna do a list, you just click bulk import and it takes you right to that page, okay? And then you choose your file and you import it. Now, for those of you guys who struggle with this sort of technical wizardry, there's some really good help on Teamzy. Okay, you go to the help center right here on the left, and you will find some great videos, right, on how to get your back office imports in, how to get your Facebook contacts in. You can even go to FAQs and get step-by-step instructions on all that. Now, if all fails, you click help, ask for help, and my team will help you, okay? Do not get stuck on the import process. That's just, it's like moving into your dream home. You just gotta move once, and then you get to live in that house, right? Okay, one more step for setup, and now we're gonna crush our power hour. There's one more thing you're gonna do. Notice how everybody here on my power hour list has a number next to their name. They have a number. This is their star ranking, like as if you were looking at Netflix or Amazon. Jay's a 5-star, Rocky's a 4-star, Vilma's a 3-star, and so on. What does this mean? The star system is how we rank our relationships so that Teamzy knows how to make our list. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to do this real quick. Let's go to the team page. See over here on the left? The team page is where your full Teamzy CRM lives. You can see the complete list of my contacts is here, okay? Everyone's here and they all have their numbers. Okay, now when you do a bulk import, Teamzy will automatically bring you to this page and ask you to rank them. If you do it right then, great. If you want to come back and do it later, what you do is you come here, you come right over to this menu right here, these 3 little dots, and you turn on rank mode, okay? Now rank mode lets you jam down the list and change people's ranks really fast. Let's say Andress was a 4, I just click on it to change her rank, right? Dion's a 1, I just click 1. See how easy this is? If I wanted to delete Law, I just hit the trash can. Super easy. Okay, so you're gonna go down your list and rank people. Let me explain what these ranks mean. Okay, I'm gonna click on this little question mark to show you. A 5-star is somebody most likely to become a customer or distributor, or they're your existing customers and distributors that are rock stars. 5-star people are your best friends, your closest relationships, your favorite people in the world. 5-star people are gonna come up on your list every 30 days, right? On your connects. This is not a follow-up, by the way. This is just connecting. You're gonna connect with them every 30 days just to say hi and continue investing in the relationship. 4 stars is somebody who's likely to become a customer or distributor with a little nurturing. They're also your good relationships, your friends, your family, but not your closest, okay? Or there's people on your team or your customers who are your good, consistent people. They show up on your list to connect every 60 days, okay? They're gonna come up and you connect. 3 stars could go either way. Most people on your list will be 3 stars. And they show up every 90 days. So even 3 stars, you're gonna talk to them 4 times a year, just reaching out, working on that relationship. 2 stars are getting colder. They show up every 120 days. Make sense? More stars, more often. Why is this so important to do? Because in relationship marketing, you will get 80%, well, this is true, not just relationship marketing. This is true of any business. 80% of your business comes from 20% of your relationships, right? You've heard about the 80-20 rule. 80% of your business will come from 20% of your relationships. So you should talk more often to the best people because they're gonna give you more business. But Teamzy makes sure that you stay in touch with everybody. It's just bringing back the best people more often. Make sense? Okay, once this is done, you don't have to save it or anything, it auto saves. You can just navigate back to the dashboard. Now we're ready to do a power hour, okay? Let's do this real quick and then we'll get to Q&A. Here we go. Here's your Teamzy dashboard. Couple things I want to show you. Right here, today's activities. These are the goals that we set in the setup wizard. My goal today is to connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, 4 distributors, do 3 invites and 3 ads. Okay, that's my goal. Now, down here is my Power Hour module. This is where I'm going to do my work. It gives me my list of who's up next. What does that mean? That means that's who I'm going to connect with first. Okay, don't try to overthink this system. Just connect with who's up next. On my prospects list is Jay, and this gives me my 4 lists: customers, prospects, customers, distributors, and my follow-ups. Okay, I'll explain what follow-ups are in a little bit. First, we're connecting. We're going to work from left to right. So first person on my list is Jay. Now the left side gives me my list. The right side is where I log my work. Okay, so I'm going to connect with Jay, and I'm going to connect with her on Facebook. I like to use Facebook Messenger for the majority of my connecting because it has the best response rate. It also has a few other benefits. People will click on me and see my profile usually before they respond, which is good because they catch up on what I'm up to and they feel connected to me. Also, when we actually message back and forth on Facebook Messenger, Facebook prioritizes my posts for that person's feed because they think I'm very relevant if they're talking to me. Make sense? Okay, cool benefits. But you can connect with somebody however you want. Text message. You can call. You can talk to them in person, on the phone, email. You can use Voxer. You can use Snapchat. I don't care. Whatever you want. You can talk to them on Instagram. You can log all those in Teamzy. Look, there they are. Okay, but I'm going to connect with her on Facebook. I've got Facebook open right here in another tab. I'm going to get ready to go over there and message her in a second. Now, here's the part where I would get stuck. What am I going to say to Jay? Anybody have any ideas? I used to stare at this screen and try to figure this out. I want you guys to know that I have slowly, over time, refined my little scripts to say hello to make somebody's day to where they're super effective. And I've put them all in Teamzy for you to use. So you just go right here to scripts. See right here in the box? Click on scripts. I'm going to get one for Facebook. And I'm just going to grab connect number 1. Hi, Jane. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. Copy that script. Now watch this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just paste it here in Teamzy so I can edit it before I send it in Facebook. First off, the name is not her name. I need to change the name. Hi, Jay. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Great. Put a little emoticon or 2 in here. You guys like emoticons? I love emoticons. I don't know. What emoticons do you like? I put a couple in there. All right, so now I've got this just the way I want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I need to actually send it in Facebook. Teamzy tells me who to connect with and what to say, but I have to actually send it in Facebook. It only takes a second. I'll just look her up real quick. There she is, and we'll just send her this message. Okay. Boom, send. Done, message was sent. Now I've sent a connect to Jay. Let's finish logging it. It was a Facebook message. See the big blue log connect button? That logs it. Now look at my dashboard. 1 done, 8 left. Next person on my list is Rocky. I'm going to connect with Rocky. Now what I'll do is I'll use that same, I'm just going to use that same script. It's already on my clipboard. Just change the name. Hi, Rocky. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome. Great. Ready to go. Now I'll do the same thing. I'll go up to Facebook. I'll look up Rocky, send them the message, and then log it here in Teamzy with the big blue log connect button. Now I've got 2 done, 7 left. I'm going to keep going down my list until I hit my goal of sending 9 messages. Now, couple things. Will I use the same script 9 times? Very probably. Very probably, unless it's somebody that I've already messaged, then maybe I'll pick a different one from the scripts, okay? But I'll just keep it simple and efficient that way. Now, some people will immediately respond. Here's a little pro tip for you. Don't get into the conversation yet. Your goal right now is to get all your outgoing messages out before you start talking to the incoming messages. So stay focused. Just keep working down your lists. As they come back, be encouraged, but you'll get to them in a minute, okay? So I'm going to keep going down my list until my goal for prospects is done. In this case, it's 9. This circle will turn totally blue and it will say 0 left. And then I'll go to my customer list. I'll just toggle to the next list. The first person on my list is Beta, okay? I'm going to message Beta. She's a customer. Now, what I'll do is, again, I'm just going to go to scripts. Now, some of you, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but some of you have created these very complicated follow-up systems for your customers, and then you beat yourself up when you can't manage it. True? So I want you to know you don't need to do, with Teamzy, you don't need to set anything complicated. You just put your customers in Teamzy, rank them, and just stay in touch with them. And then you'll always be present. It's just going to happen serendipitously that you're always present when they need you. Okay? So let me get a script here for this person. Here's a great one. Hi, how are you enjoying the product? Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. Okay? Real simple. How are you enjoying whatever she ordered? Put in the product. Okay? Well, this one I love too. Just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. The thing about these scripts are, even your team, when they know you're using Teamzy and they know that there's scripts, they still love it when you check in to see if there's anything they can do to make their day. They still love it. All right, so look, I'm going to use that one. Hi, Beta. Change the name. Just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Okay, maybe an emoticon. Do you guys see how easy this is? So easy. So I'm going to do the same thing. I've got it all the way I want it now. I'll copy this. I'll toggle over to Facebook. I'm going to look up Beta. Beta's actually real, but I'm not going to send it to her right now. There's Beta. I can look her up. Okay, send her the message, and then log it in Teamzy. Big blue log connect button. Boom, done. Next person's Alistair. I'm going to go down my customer list the same way I did my prospect list, staying in touch with people. Now, a couple things really quick on this. This is magical, by the way. When you stay in touch with your customers, suddenly when you have a system to do it, they're going to think you're amazing. People will be like, you're so amazing. You're so on top of things. Just follow the system. Let Teamzy keep you in touch. But some magical things happen. One is when you're in touch, when you're in regular contact with customers, they order more. They just order more. They will order. Your volume will go up. Okay? We've seen teams come into a 30-day free trial challenge, and the whole team volume goes up 30% first month. Just because they're in touch with their customers. When you're present for them, they'll order more. They'll ask you things like, what else should I be getting? I do love this product that I'm using. What else should I be getting? Should I get some more? Maybe I should get some for my mom. Maybe, right? They're gonna start ordering more. You'll just find that happens. A lot of people avoid customers because they're afraid they'll cancel their auto ship if they hear from you. The truth is, if they're thinking of doing that, getting in touch with them is the best thing you can do because you can overcome objections and help them understand what the value is. Okay, the second thing that happens when you're in touch with customers, I mean, do you guys know, like when you're looking, raise your little hands, those of you who are on the webinar, not on Facebook, put your little hand up if you're looking for some new customers. How many of you would like some new customers? Good, just about everybody, great. Where do you go get those? Do you know where to go find new customers? Is there a special place where you can go find them? Here's what I want you guys to understand. The best place to find a new customer is a current customer. Okay, the best place to find a new customer is a current customer. And that's why you need to be in touch with people. Think about it. Someone's using a product, they love it. What do? They tell everybody about it. So that's why a lot of you are here tonight. That's why you're in this business, because it happened to you. You know that it's, I forget the exact statistic. I think it's 82%. Now I know we've got Tegan in New Zealand, but I bet people in New Zealand are very similar. In North America, 82% of people make buying decisions after a recommendation. They go to a friend or family member for their opinion, for their recommendation, okay? Before they make buying decisions. 82%. So you've got customers who are talking to their friends and family about how amazing your products are, which means they've got people ready to buy right now. The question is, are you finding those new customers? Are you getting introduced to them? Or are they going and finding your product online and buying it from somebody else because you're not in touch with your customers, right? Stay in touch with your customers. They'll order more and they will bring you more people. Make sure you're asking them to introduce you to the people they're talking to. All right, the last step here on your power hour is, or I shouldn't say your last step on your power, but your last list on the up next list is your distributors. Okay, you're gonna connect with your distributors the same way. Hey, is there anything I can do to make your day? How are you doing today? Hey, I saw that you got a new customer. Congratulations. Wow, you leveled up. You're amazing. Just little messages, okay? We call it Teamzy because it's about your team. It's about building a family with your team. Now, for those of you who are social science nerds like me, and I'm constantly absorbing content on what motivates people, what makes people tick. You know that in all the social science studies they've done, they've never been able to draw a connection between giving somebody more money and getting them to produce more at work. Productivity and income are not related in any way that's measurable. Isn't that amazing? But they have found that two things increase productivity more than anything. Okay? And this is why this business is so amazing. One is status, perceived status, which that's why you guys have ribbons and medals and all that cool stuff that you get from your companies. And the second thing is relationship, connection, belonging. You want your team members to work harder to build their business. You need to focus on the relationship. That's it. When they feel connected to you and the mission of your team, they will stick to it. Okay? So use Teamzy to stay in touch. As your team gets huge, you can still manage it. Just keep it going, right? Keep it going. Get into the Teamzy system. You do a few every day and you're in touch with everybody. Okay? When you're done with your prospects, your customers, and your distributors, our example was 19 people. Do you guys see how I think you could do it in 20 minutes? Let's say 30 minutes, just sending those messages. Now we're going to work our follow-ups list. Okay? That's the second half of our power hour, follow-ups list. Now you can see I've got no follow-ups scheduled. So let me explain to you how follow-ups work. Teamzy keeps you in touch with everybody so that you can connect and build relationships. Okay? Follow-up is when you have found somebody who's interested in the business or interested in the products. A follow-up is when you find somebody who's interested, you invite them, right, with a clear call to action. You invite them, and then you put it in Teamzy, and now you're going to follow up on that lead like a pro. Okay? The follow-ups list is where we put people that we've invited that are interested. Okay, so how does this work? I'm messaging people, sending out these messages, starting these conversations. In our example today, I messaged 19 people. Let's say 10 of them respond to me. That's awesome. Now I get 10 conversations started. Oh, Eric, great to hear from you, blah, blah, blah. Some of those conversations fizzle out right away, which is fine because that person will come back up on Teamzy automatically in 30, 60, 90, or 120 days based on their rank. Okay? I don't have to even think about them again. Even if they don't respond, I don't think about them at all. They're going to come back on Teamzy automatically. I'll reach out again. A lot of times it may take a few reach outs before someone responds. That's fine. Don't think about it. Teamzy does it for you automatically. Now, for some of those conversations that are going great and people are actually engaging with me, I'm going to try to draw out of them, their update. What's going on with you? What have you been up to in your life? I'm going to be asking them questions to try to figure out if there's anything I can do to help them with my business or otherwise. I want them to know that I care and that I'm a person who will help them with whatever they need. So I will listen for their wants and needs. Maybe they need a new vet for their animals, and I know a great one. I'm going to recommend that to them. Maybe they're going through some difficulties, and they need someone to pray with them. You'd be amazed, by the way, when you start working relationally with Teamzy, that one comes up a lot, and it's very fulfilling to be able to be there for people, and they understand your heart, and they are more likely to do business with you down the road, and you feel great about it. Make sense? So let's just give you an example. I messaged my friend Jay. She responds. We're catching up. She says, we're great. Thanks for reaching out. And I just ask her, well, send me an update. What are you up to? She gives me her update, which is great. We're catching up. What about you, Eric? What are you up to? And I tell her. I share what I do and why I'm passionate about it. Oh my gosh. When I was a Beachbody coach, I might've said, I don't know if you know, but I lost 60 pounds and now I'm really passionate about helping people do it. I've been doing it for a little while now. It's been incredibly rewarding and unbelievable that I've been able to help a group of people lose over 2,000 pounds. I always kept track. Got to keep track of your numbers, right? I always kept track of things like that I could say, wow, that's so cool. And, as we're talking about what I'm doing, I'll just ask her, would you like to learn more about what I'm doing? Are you interested in learning more about it? And if she says yes, then I'm going to invite her to something. Okay. Simple. I am going to just say, well, if you'd like to learn more, great. Why don't we get together for coffee and I'll tell you more about it? Or a lot of times we're doing stuff online, right? We're doing virtual stuff. So I might say something like, Jay, are you going to be around tomorrow? She's, yeah, I'll be home. Perfect. My team's doing a virtual opportunity meeting online on Facebook. So if you're going to be around, you can just tune in and people will be sharing their stories. You'll learn about the business. It's a great way for you to get some information from the comfort of your own home. She says, oh, that sounds perfect. Great. I'm going to send you a link okay, to that event, and I'll follow up tomorrow and see what questions you have. She says, okay, great. So how do I do this in Teamzy, right? Again, maybe 1 or 2 of those 10 conversations might go here, and that's okay. So first things first, Jay's no longer on my dashboard, so I have to look her up in that lookup bar at the very top, okay? So just put a piece of her name in there, she is. That takes me to her contact record. Now what I'll do is I'll open the connect box here, and this time I'm gonna log an invite. See where it says invite? I'm gonna log this business opportunity invite. I'm gonna say Facebook link, okay? Send it to her in a message. Now I want you to notice something here, right here where it says in 2 days, that is my follow-up, okay? So I can set this to anything, tomorrow, 2 days, a month. I can do a custom date, okay? I can do anything I want. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this to tomorrow. Let's see, is that tomorrow? I don't even know what today's date is. So I'm gonna set this for tomorrow because I'm telling her, Jay, I'll connect with you tomorrow and see if you have any questions. It's very important that you set an invite, you set a follow-up when you do an invite. That moves her now to my follow-ups list, okay? So let's log that. See that now she has that follow-up set on her thing. Let me go back to the dashboard. When I go to my follow-ups list now, you'll see Jay's there. She's set for tomorrow, okay? So this is how my power hour works. Prospects, customers, distributors, just connecting. And then I go see who's on my follow-ups list and I follow up. Make sense? Okay. This is the important piece. I've had a great conversation with Jay. She's wanted to learn more. She's now come to my event virtually and learned about the business. Now it's up to me to follow up with her. Okay? You guys need to understand that 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-ups. Between the 7th and 10th follow-ups. That's where 80% of all sales happen. The fortune's in the follow-up, right? Teamzy makes it so easy to follow up. If you do this right, nobody will ever fall through the cracks. Let me show you how easy it is to do follow-up in Teamzy. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about how to follow up in principle in a way that's really great. Okay, so I come to my follow-ups list. Let's say it's tomorrow when it's due. There's Jay. And it's just like sending a regular connect. I'm going to go to scripts, Facebook, but this time I'm going to get a follow-up script. So notice that some are labeled follow-up number 1. By the way, all 10 of my follow-up scripts, which have been refined over years and working with thousands of coaching clients, are in here for you to use for free. All 10 of them numbered, okay? So here's number 1. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Great, copy that script. We do it just like a regular connect, paste it in there, change the name, get it just the way I want it, great. Okay, and I'm just gonna send this in Facebook. There's Jay, she's still up, perfect, don't even have to search her. Send her this follow-up message, okay? Easy, real simple. Now what I do is I'm gonna log this in Teamzy, but pay attention, take notes if you're not, set the new follow-up before you log in. Set the new follow-up, let's say I'm gonna follow up in 2 days, great. Set the new follow-up and then hit log connect. That keeps her on your follow-ups list. You want to keep her on your follow-ups list till she converts. You have to keep connecting, keep connecting, keep connecting, keep connecting. Between 7 and 10 is where 80% of conversions happen. Now, how many of you, raise your little hands on the thing if you follow up 10 times typically? Anybody follow up 10 times? I got 3 people. Way to go. You guys are studs. No, 2 people. Someone just said, wait. What is he saying? No. It's great. Most people don't. Most people will not follow up that many times. And they certainly don't have a system like Teamzy to make sure they're not falling through the cracks. But what you need to understand, you guys, is that the vast majority of good leads, of interested people that you could have helped, you're failing on helping them because you didn't follow up enough. Most people follow up 3 or 4 times. They think they're doing great. But you've let them go before you've been able to help them. Okay? Let's just be honest. Let me see your hands if you believe that you can help people, you can change lives and really help people in this business. That's why you're here. Let me see those hands. Now they're going up like crazy. Just listen to me because this is important. You cannot help anybody if you don't follow up enough. If they don't convert, you're not helping them. And 80% of them will take 7 to 10 follow-ups. So just think of it this way, because I know a lot of you guys think that following up 10 times it's going to be super annoying and it's you're like being a pest. How many of you guys believe that? You have to understand this. 80% of the people you could have helped, you're not going to help unless you follow up. This is why I like to say it like this. Following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. Okay? Failing to follow up communicates this to somebody. I don't care about you. I don't care about you. Now, what happens is we create in our mind all the reasons why they're not responding. And it justifies us giving up on them. I'm here to tell you guys, the vast majority of people will not respond at all to your follow-ups for 5 or 6. Maybe the 6th one is where you get your first response. Okay? Why is that? Well, it's just because people are busy. You know, they get your message and it's like, oh yeah, that's great. And then the dog's throwing up on the baby. I gotta go. You message again while I'm making dinner. I can't answer it right now, right? It's easy for me to miss the first 4 or 5 and not respond. That's what's gonna happen with the majority of people. Now, 20% of people will sign up right away in three follow-ups, and those are the ones you've got so far. The vast majority, though, take more. That's why you need Teamzy to keep you on top of it. Does this make sense? So let me give you guys, I'm going to give you 2 tips on how to follow up without being annoying, okay? So that you never have to worry about being annoying. People will thank you. You follow up 10 times, they thank you for staying in touch with me. Now, here's what I want you guys to know. You don't even need to know these principles. If you use my scripts, they're already built into those scripts. Okay, just use my scripts and you're good to go. But these are the 2 principles for never being annoying when you follow up. Number 1, never ask someone to do anything in a follow-up. Don't ask them to do anything. Don't ask them to call you back. Don't ask them to message you back. Don't give any expectations that they need to do anything on their follow-up. You're setting the expectation that you'll continue to connect. Okay? Number 2, your follow-up needs to be in written format and it needs to be short. Written format and short. What does that mean? You can't call and leave a voicemail. You can't send a voice message. Please don't do that. You can't send them a video. You can't do that for a follow-up. It needs to be written. Why? Because they're going to get your message and see it on the notification screen of their phone. Right? They'll see it. And if it's short, it needs to be short enough they can read the whole thing without opening it. Why? Because they don't want to open your message because they can't respond right now. They're busy at this exact moment. They're going to save it till they have time. Okay? If they have to open it, in other words, you've written it so long that they have to they see the ... Now they're irritated with you because they don't want you to see that they've opened the message because they're not going to respond. So now, and most people just won't get to know what the rest of the message is and they're irritated because they don't know what they're missing. Does this make sense? Short, sweet, and written so they can read the whole thing on the lock screen phone. Here's your goal. Your goal is that they see the message and absorb it. That's it. Because after 5 or 6 is when typically you'll connect with them. Make sense? So what we do, here's how we do our power hour for review, and then I'm going to take some questions. Power hour, you come in and you turn on Teamzy, right? Read your My Why to yourself out loud. Then hit your prospects list. Whatever your goal is, you connect with that many people. Send your connects. Use my scripts. That makes it easy. Next, you're going to connect with customers. Just staying in touch with them. Again, scripts are there to help you do it. Just connect. Whatever your goal is, you go down your customer list, send them out. Ignoring incoming messages for the moment. And then you're going to connect with your distributors the same way. And then you're going to get to your follow-ups list and you're going to work down at all your follow-ups and send them the next follow-up. That's it. Easy. It's easy. Your power hour in Teamzy is 30, 40 minutes done. Now, do you need to have conversations that you've created? Yes. I recommend setting aside some times during your day where you can have the conversations that you're starting during your power hour. Okay? Often the way I did it was I had a 30 minutes of my lunch break. For those of you who have a job, this is what I did. At 30 minutes of my lunch break, I'd go to my car and message people. And then in the evening, after supper, I would message people. And that's when I had all my conversations. When I was disciplined, sometimes I would just message people all day long. And my wife would say, honey, remember, coach yourself, time block. All right, does this make sense? Okay, so let me finish up Jay and Teamzy, and then we'll take some questions. So here's how I finished her off in the system. Let's say Jay, I followed up with her over 2 months, a bunch of times, she signs up. The way I'm gonna do it is, I'm gonna go to her record in Teamzy. Now, you can jump to somebody's record by clicking on their name here, or you can look them up in the lookup bar. and I'm going to log a sale. Now, the sale is important to log because Teamzy knows that something happened from all this activity. So your sale types, you probably have just a couple of choices. Distributor kit, great, and save. Okay? And then use this tag section to tag the products that she actually purchased. So I've got a few products that are popular tagged. Okay? So you tag the products she purchased there, great. Now I'm going to go to member type and I'm going to move her from prospect to distributor by clicking on it and personally sponsored. So now Teamzy has logged that she had a sale that actually resulted in a recruit, and it's logged all those statistics for me. I'll continue to connect with Jay, but now she's going to show up over on this distributors list, okay? Not on the prospects list. Simple? Okay, great. All right, let's take some questions. I see I've already got 4 in there, which is great. Let me just see if there's any on Facebook real quick. Doesn't look like Facebook has any questions. Let me just refresh it, double check it. Okay. How do I get emojis in my Connect? Great. Carly, I use a Mac. So on a Mac, you hit Control Command Spacebar to get your emojis menu. Depending on your computer, like if you use Windows-based system, what I would do is just Google, how do I get the emojis menu on Windows 10 or whatever you're using, okay? So just Google it and you'll get the shortcut, but there's a keystroke shortcut. Once you have that, it's life-changing. So for Mac users, it's Control Command Space, and that brings up your menu. I know, I tell you, when I learned that, I was like, this is so great. All right. Let's see. Carly also says, is there a way to get a reminder on contacts' birthdays? Okay, so most people, hopefully you're connected on Facebook with most people. And Facebook does a really good job of reminding you about birthdays, right? However, we do have a report in Teamzy, a birthdays report, which you can pull. Now, the reason why there's a report is because sometimes you want to send people cards. Do you guys do birthday cards? People still do that? Yeah, so how you get the birthday report, let me show you. You go over to the team page, and right here on this little menu, you click on birthday report, okay? And then it gives you all the upcoming birthdays. Pretty cool, right? I know. All right. Carly says, how do you log an invite? Okay, so the way you log an invite is, see inside the connect box right here, where it says invite, you click that. And you move this from connect to whatever it is. Now your menu may be slightly different depending on your version. But let's say you had a 3-way call with somebody. Now you're going to log that, okay? And then you're going to put, business opportunity, pitch, I don't know. So that's how you'd log it. You set your follow-up, and however you did it. Let's say it was in person. No, it was a phone call, right? Boom. So we can log that. Boom. That's how you log a connect. See an invite, and it's done. Okay. Can I set more than one follow-up date for one contact at the same time? You cannot. It's just your next follow-up. You just set your next follow-up. Is this going to be available later? I'm missing the best part. Yes, we recorded this call, so we will email you guys the link. But also, you can go to our Facebook page because we streamed live. You can go to the Teamzy Facebook page, and the recording's there already, so you can watch it there, which is great. Jorge says, why can't Teamzy post for me instead of having to open another app and copy and paste? That's because Facebook doesn't allow anybody to post for them anymore. There are some apps on business pages, but business pages is not relevant to 99% of people in our business. On your personal page, Facebook doesn't allow anybody to post for them. So that's why. Okay, but here's the thing, Jorge, even with copying and pasting, it will take you can still connect with 20 people in 30 minutes. I mean, I don't know how much more efficient you want to be, but it would be cool if you could. You'll have to call Zuckerberg on that one for us. Tegan says, any advice for helping boost a distributor's confidence and commitment to the process? Yes, personal growth and development. Personal growth and development. You need to get them listening to some Audible books or some podcasts, or if they can read, if they'll actually read, get them to start reading some books. It's all about personal development for all of us. For all of us. As far as getting into actually using Teamzy, get them in the 30-day free trial. you know, and really see if you can get them committed to give it a try for 30 days and start connecting with people. Honestly, I think that if you did Teamzy 5 days in a row, your mind's blown, but your mind will be blown by the conversations you're starting. And that should build confidence, right? So personal growth and development and just actually doing stuff will help. 30-day free trial. That's the cool thing about it. And that's why we did it. As you bring somebody new onto your team who's like, you know, they don't want to spend any money. They don't even know if they're going to do it. You get them working for 30 days for free. Let them see some results. Let them see some results. I'm going to give you guys a couple action steps real quick. If you have any more questions, put them in there before we go. I'll grab them. But I have a couple action steps for you that I want to send you on your way. So here we go. First action step, if you haven't already done it, get your 30-day free trial started. Okay. If you're in a 30-day free trial already, set up your subscription. That way you won't miss a beat when the trial ends. If you don't set up a subscription, when the trial ends, you just lose access to your account. Okay. Choose a 30-day success partner to do your trial with you. Success partners make this work so much better. Okay, now if you have a success partner in business, do it with them. But if you don't, pick somebody, sideline person or whatever, and just say, hey, do you want to do this with me for 30 days? We'll hold each other accountable. I recommend you take a screenshot of your completed day, your action steps in Teamzy, and message it to each other. That will help you do it a lot more days than you would do on your own. Okay, and then it'll be a no-brainer. You'll be in love with the results you're getting. And then I'm going to give you a 5-day challenge. I want you in 5 days to connect with 100 people. That's 20 people a day average. It can be any mix of prospects, customers, and distributors. I just want you connecting with 20 people a day, sending those messages out so that you can feel what kind of momentum you can create in 5 days. In 5 days, you can create so much momentum. So here's your challenge, free trial. Get a success partner, do it with you. And in 5 days, connect with 100 people. And you'll see for yourself how amazing this program works. Okay. Josephine says, can you post a link to the subscription? The way you get to your, oh wait, there's a funny old post from back in my Beachbody days. Okay. Here's how you get your subscription. When you're in your free trial, so you get your free trial at teamzy.com. That's it, teamzy.com. When you're in your free trial, you'll near the end of your free trial, you're going to get this little thing that pops up that says start your subscription. Okay. Or you can just go to settings. Let me show you where it is. It's going to pop up right here, start your free trial, but you can go to settings anytime and then billing, and you can set up your subscription. Okay. So Teamzy costs less than $1 a day for all that we talked about today, knowing what to do every single day in your business, staying organized so people don't fall through the cracks. All right, any other questions? Can you open more than one window on an iPad? I hear somebody, oh, these are comments in the chat. Let me see here. Can you open more than one window on an iPad? What an iPad opens apps, and then you toggle between the apps with your toggle button. That's how it works. So you can toggle back and forth between Facebook, text messages, and Teamzy. Super easy. And Teamzy is fully mobile too. So if you want to use it on your mobile phone, that's how you do it. Pull it up on your Teamzy, pull it up in your web browser, and then you toggle back and forth. It's super efficient. Okay. Great. Thank you guys so much. I hope this was helpful. I know it was a lot of information in a short amount of time, but our goal is to help you be successful. Take advantage of the free trainings in the Teamzy University. Go into the Help Center, learn, get in there, use your free trial. We are so humbled and honored that you are part of our Teamzy family. Thank you for spending some time with us. God bless you. Have a great night.